Polytechnic students. And Amnesty International calls for transparent investigation into extrajudicial killing in Delta State. Now the news in full. The Federal High Court in Abuja has restrained the Independent National Electoral Commission for recognizing or participating in any Congress organized by a disputed caretaker leadership of the African Democratic Congress. The court, in a judgment delivered by Justice Joyce Abdul Malik, also barred former Senate President David Mark and other prominent figures in the party for interfering with the functions and tenure of elected state executives. This comes following an originating summons filed by Norman Obina and 6 others on behalf of the state chairperson and executive committees of the party. The ruling is the latest development in the leadership dispute within the ADC, with clear implications for the control of party structures ahead of future political activities. The Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, said President Bola Tinubu has approved the allocation of land in Abuja and High Commissioners designate. Wike made the remarks on Wednesday when he received the envoys on a courtesy visit led by the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Dunoma Ahmed, at his residence in Abuja. Addressing the envoys, the minister said the president's decision stemmed from a desire to ensure that Nigerians' representatives have a permanent stake and residence in Abuja when they return for periodic briefings.
The president called me and said, look, these ambassadors will be leaving Nigeria, and that he believes that from time to time they will come to Abuja to brief him on what is happening in the country where they serve. And he believes that most of them do not have a place in Abuja. And so he will encourage them to see how they put up where they can stay in Abuja when they come back home. Before you leave this morning, each and every one of you should have their form to fill for land allocation in Abuja. By 2027, this election will come peacefully, and Nigeria will remain united as a nation. Thank you, and God bless you.
The gesture is aimed at deepening diplomatic presence in Nigeria's capital while fostering stronger engagement between foreign missions and the FCT. The minister highlighted ongoing infrastructure expansion across Abuja's area councils as the government is working to position the city as a modern global capital. In Ogun, the Ogun State Police Command has rescued 5 students of Gateway Polytechnic, Sapade, who were abducted by armed criminals in the school community. Deputy Superintendent of Police Olusheyi Babasheyi said the victims were rescued after the Commissioner of Police, Bode Ojajuni, directed a swift mobilization of personnel who conducted coordinated forest combing and operations along suspected escape routes. The Commissioner of Police commends the gallantry, professionalism, and swift coordination of all tactical units involved, noting that the intelligence-driven response led to the success of the operation. He further assures citizens of ongoing operations to track, apprehend, and bring the fleeing suspects to justice. Members of the public are urged to remain vigilant and report any suspicious movement to the nearest police station. In Osun, the Osun State Governor, Senator Ademola Adeleke, has accused former Governor Gboyega Oyetola and All Progressives Congress governorship candidate Bola Oyebamiji of orchestrating desperate moves to disrupt the August 15 governorship election out of fear of imminent defeat. The governor's spokesperson, Malam Olawale Rashid, said the governor alleged that opposition elements within the Osun APC are bent on subverting the will of the people, having realized that they stand no chance at the polls. He further revealed that the opinion surface commissioned by the Osun All Progressive Congress from the last quarter of 2025 to March 2026, has consistently placed the All Progressive Congress popularity below 30%, while Governor Adeleke's approval rating has remained between 68 and 72%. The spokesperson added that realities unsettled the Oyetola amber function of the state APC. Once it became public that there would be no external manipulation of the electoral process, the opposition's desperation deepened, leaving them with no option but to resort to failed schemes. The Kwara State government has approved the statewide child rights training program for students and teachers across public and private schools, aimed at strengthening child protection systems and promoting awareness of children's rights within the education sector. The approval was formally conveyed in a letter dated April 28 and signed by a representative, Aina Yunis, on behalf of the Commissioner for Education and Human Capital Development, Lawal Olongbebe. The development was announced by the Administrative Secretary of Sterling Human Resource Development and Logistics Limited, Ideu Praise, in Ilorin, the state capital. The Commissioner said the training sessions would focus on child rights principles, safeguarding responsibilities, and practical response mechanisms in addressing child rights violations in schools. Students are also expected to receive orientation as part of efforts to create safer and more inclusive learning environment. You are listening to Vicinity 95.3 FM, transmitting live from Ikejile, Ijesha. News nationwide will continue shortly.
Sports. In towards Lukaku. Entertainment. Politics. All on your darling station, Vicinity 95.3 FM, Ikejile, Ijesha.
Thanks for staying tuned. For news updates and live streaming, visit our website at vicinity953fm.com.ng. You can also provide us information via email at vicinitynewsroom@gmail.com or call 0706 108 3107. Now the rest of the news. Amnesty International has called on the federal government to ensure a prompt and transparent investigation into the alleged extrajudicial killing of a 28-year-old man, Mene Ogidi, by a police officer in Efirum, Delta State. In a statement issued by the organization, it described the incident as a violation of the right to life and a reflection of ongoing concerns about police accountability in the country. The group demanded that the outcome of the investigation be made public and urged authorities to align law enforcement practices with international human rights standards, stressing that lethal force should only be used as a last resort. Amnesty International urged the authority to take decisive steps to end unlawful killings and restore public confidence in law enforcement. The Senate on Wednesday launched a formal probe into renewed attacks in Lamorde, local government area of Adamawa State, and directed the immediate provision of relief materials to communities displaced by the violence. The resolution followed the adoption of a motion sponsored by Senator Binos Yaroy, who raised alarm over coordinated attacks on the communities in the area. The Senate mandated its Committee on National Security and Intelligence to carry out a comprehensive investigation into the crisis with a view to bringing an end to the conflict. Contributing to the debate, Senator Amos Yohana Adamawa North stressed that the violence has remained unresolved for years despite repeated interventions. He called for stronger collaboration between federal lawmakers and the Adamawa state government to sustain ongoing peace efforts, while also urging security agencies to intensify operations in the troubled communities. A bit of sport. The Deputy President of the Senate, Senator Barau Jibrin, has again paid the registration fees of 66 football clubs in Kano State for this year's nationwide League One competition. This was contained in a statement issued by his special advisor on media and publicity, Ismail Modashir. Barau also donated 3 buses to the nationwide League One Kano Forum, the Sports Writers Association of Nigeria, Kano Chapter, and the Kano State Football Referees Council to improve mobility within the sports community. The senator announced the payment of the 25 million registration fees and the donation of the vehicle during a courtesy visit by officials of the association. Speaking on behalf of the Sport Writers Association of Nigeria Kano Chapter, the chairman, Zaharaddin Saleh, praised the senator for the donation across the Kano North Senatorial District. To end news nationwide, a recap of the major stories. The Federal High Court in Abuja has restrained the Independent National Electoral Commission for recognizing or participating in any Congress organized by a disputed caretaker leadership of the African Democratic Congress. We told you that the Ogun State Police Command has rescued 5 students of Gateway Polytechnic, Sakpade, who were abducted by armed criminals in the school community. And lastly, you heard, Amnesty International has called on the federal government to ensure a prompt and transparent investigation into the alleged extrajudicial killing of a 28-year-old man, Mene Ogidi, by a police officer in Efirum, Delta State. And just before we go, the last line. Character is how you treat those who can do nothing for you. That was News Nationwide. It was edited by Oyedayo Folorenshaw. On behalf of the production team, I am AFEEZ HASSAN. Many thanks for listening. Good evening.